talking about the it's just corruption is everywhere. But I'm gonna do the return of senders. I'm gonna clean my energy, clean my space, and do what I gotta do. The return of senders are part of my daily routine. When I shower with salt every day. I even use eggshells. I think I might have eggshells in my hair. I fell asleep. I fell asleep. I take a shower. I wipe all this hot mess off my body, and I go to sleep. I don't have. When I don't sleep, it's because somebody's doing something. But I sleep. I go to sleep. I'm up at 4, 5 in the morning, and I sleep. Like I don't stay up. I don't stay up late. I don't stay up late. Like why? Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? Like I'm gonna go to sleep. But when I don't sleep, it's because someone is doing something. That's how I know. Can't prove it. I can't prove it. I can't see them. I just know because they fucking with me in the spirit. I know the spirit. But let's go. I'm gonna do the return of senders. The return of senders helps me to return the energy back to whoever's doing it. I spray the spray. I took a shower last night and went straight to sleep. And I put eggshells like all over myself. My curls went out. So I wet my hair, but it's fine. This splash, I sell the splash. I sell it on TikTok. I sell it on Pay. Those are my only two places, TikTok and PayPal. It's just to help you. It's to get rid of the negative energy. It absorbs in your skin, so it's almost that's why I don't wipe it off. It's like it's on there. That means it's doing the job. It's gonna dry on my skin, and it does the job. Return to senders. Return to senders returns energy back to wherever it's coming from. That's what a return to sender does. Information comes. Like I start talking about things and it'll come to me and I'm just like, wow, and I have to make sense of it. I have to make sense of it. When you talk about it, when you speak to someone about it, when you tell the person doing the shit, you doing something to me, you did some, like, did you do this to me? Like, I spoke to my sister. I was like, did you steal the fucking inheritance? Did you do something? I was like, I would never do this shit. I would never do that to you. I was like, why would you do that to me? And she never denied it and she won't admit to it and she'll just deflect and say that she doesn't have time and she got time. She got time to sit there and falsify documents and do all this other shit. She got time. But whatever. Once you speak your truth, then everything is just starts to fall apart for them. Once you speak your truth. That's why I speak my truth. When I talk about the court case, I talk about it and I say all the stuff that nobody wants to talk about. Like it's a secret. Nobody's supposed to know this shit. No, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it. And then it's just that's why I talk about it because you have to. I have to talk about it in order for anything to get done. And even with my sister, is like I have to tell her. I have to say something because it's like if you don't say anything, then it's they're just gonna keep lying and they're gonna keep hiding and they're gonna keep thinking that they're gonna get away with it. Nah, you just say something. Say something. You know, a lot of stuff is happening in the courts. A lot of stuff is being investigated. A lot of stuff is wrong. You know, whatever is in my name, they're looking it up. They're doing whatever they gotta do their job, right? Now they're doing their job. But then it's like everything else is gonna just start popping up, and then you're gonna start seeing other people's problems. Like I have my issues, and now my issues, they're going to find solutions to my issues. Okay. But there's a lot of people too that have the same kind of issues and they just don't want to talk about it because I don't know why. but they don't want to talk about it. But I know I'm not the only person, and it's a lot of people in other places of the United States have the same kind of issues. The unified court system is for all of New York State, but each state has its own rules, it's its own jurisdiction. So you can't go outside of your jurisdiction. That's why it's so hard to get help from someone else, because then they'll say, oh, that's outside of my jurisdiction. But there's corruption in each place, and then it's kept in that place because nobody from the outside can come in, and that's how they control it. That's how it's controlled. That's why there's corruption everywhere. There's murders everywhere. These people marrying people like it's candy. Like, you're not supposed to do that, but they do it. Everything is money. You always find a way of how to make more money. Crazy. People, we struggle in life and we have to overcome things, and then you're so happy and proud of yourself when you overcome things. You're satisfied with yourself when you get things, when you earn things, and it's just like, I did that. I did that. That's mine. Like, I did all of this, and you started from the bottom and you just grew to something great, and it's like I did that. You earned it. You worked hard and you focused on it, and you accomplished so much. You feel so proud of yourself. But then there's other people that they'll just look for other people to take advantage of them and to slow them down and stop them from being great. But I'm like, you could be great too. Like, we could all be great. Like, you don't have to stop one person for the next person to shine. Like, you can shine if you put work, all the work that you're doing trying to take shit from people, you put that into yourself and see how great you can be. It's crazy. It's crazy the way things go. But I'm gonna go into the Return of Sundays. I know I am talking because it's like the jurisdiction part. They always say that, oh, it's outside of our jurisdiction. Oh, we can't do this because it's not in our jurisdiction. Oh, we're not allowed to come there. And, so they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. And then what are other people going to say? It's outside of our jurisdiction. We can't do anything about that. And I'm just like, but I need help, and nobody will help you because it's outside of their jurisdiction. That's the law. They made that a fucking law. That's why they have so many criminals. That's why they have so many things. That's why people here, you're in the same state. How can you get married three times in the same state? Because it's outside of their jurisdiction. So you don't check what's done in the Bronx. So you can get married in the Bronx, get married in Manhattan, and get married in Brooklyn, and you're all in New York, in the fucking city, in five boroughs of New York cities, and you could get away with this. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's like, wow, like they could just get away with stuff like that, and it's okay, like nobody's gonna know. No, because it's outside of their jurisdiction. That's the fucking law. I'm like, wow, that's some shit. That's some shit. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. I'm gonna do the Return of Sanders. The Return of Sanders returns energy back to wherever it is coming from. And it's the same thing, like I'm doing the unclaimed property, unclaimed funds. But my family is from Brooklyn. My whole family's in Brooklyn. The unclaimed property is in Brooklyn, you know? I'm in the Bronx. I'm the only one in the Bronx. But everybody from Brooklyn, the whole family is from Brooklyn. The property is in Brooklyn. So I'm asking my sister, and then this bitch says she's in New Jersey. Like, bitch, I know you in Brooklyn. Like, how you gonna say you in New Jersey and you in Brooklyn? So then you want to lie about where you live at right now. You want to lie about all this other stuff, and it's just like, it's a simple question. It's like, it's a simple question, but then you lie. They lie because that's how you know. But that's how you know that that they did take it, because they wouldn't be lying, they wouldn't be aggressive, not aggressive, but they wouldn't be talking, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know anything about houses, because I'm always in my little tiny apartment, I never had a home. So talk to me like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I know the law. I know the law, and I know shit. I look up stuff and I know what the fuck is what. So once I find out, the whole database changes, because now I know. And I'm like, wow. So you go to someone else, oh, it's outside of our jurisdiction. Oh, we can't help you. I'm like, who the fuck is gonna help me with this? You want to just rip your hair out? Like, oh my god, like this is so fucking dumb. But it's the system, it's the government, it's rules. The unified system is all in the United States of America. Each state should not have its own rules. It shouldn't be like that. Every state should have the same rules. If there is a problem, there should be someone you should go to. It shouldn't just be that one person in that one state and then they're corrupt. They're corrupt because they're all a part of it. Everyone is a part of it, and there's no one to go to. No one's gonna help you. You go to someone else in another jurisdiction, and they're like, "Oh my god, oh, it's outside of my jurisdiction. I can't help you." And I'm just like, like, oh my god, and that's what has been the issue. It's outside of other people's jurisdiction, and that's why they don't help. That's why they don't do nothing, because oh, they can't. It's outside of our jurisdiction. We can't help you. So people could be killing each other and murdering each other, raping each other in a fucking area, and you know about it, but it's not in your jurisdiction, so you can't do nothing about it. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. But it's allowed because it's the law. The law has all of these stipulations that let people get away with things, and that's why they do it. That's why they do stuff. That's why people are corrupt, because the laws should apply everywhere. It should be the fucking same everywhere. Every state you go to, it should be the same law. But no, no, it's outside of our jurisdiction. We can't help you. We can't do anything about it. And then they can sit there and they can be corrupt and they can do things underhand, and no one's gonna say anything because it's outside of our jurisdiction. I'm just like, oh my god, like, is the reality of this shit. You know what? I'm gonna do the Return of Sunders in another video, but it's like I'm talking about the issues of the states. We're in the United States of America, and every state has their own laws, their own rules. You can't go into another state because it's outside of your jurisdiction. It's the same thing with the police. If there's a problem, if there's an issue going on, you can't go there because it's outside of your jurisdiction. It's like, how stupid is that? Like, how much sense does that make? There's murders, there's crimes, there's stuff going on, and you can't do nothing because it's outside of your jurisdiction. Like, how stupid is that? How stupid is that? Even with an attorney, you can't even get an attorney from an outside place because it's outside of their jurisdiction. They have to have a license to practice in your state. And I'm just like, it's crazy. And then they make you pay for the license in each state. So for you to be licensed and qualified in that state, you gotta keep paying a fee just for you to be able to practice in that state. And then the license expires after a certain amount of time. So you gotta keep paying this fee for this license. And what if you don't get work in that state? You know? It's the same thing with notary. Like, you can't notarize anything, you can't notarize things in other counties. You can notarize it, but say if it has to go to somewhere else and you need to get it authenticated, you have to go where that notary is qualified. And it's just so they make it complicated. They make it hard for you, and they make it easy for a criminal to get away with fucking murder. They get away with everything because it's outside of my jurisdiction. We can't help you when all this shit is happening, and oh, it's outside of my jurisdiction. I can't do anything about that. That's not my problem. The reality of this shit. And I know you heard about the man that got married 3 times in the same fucking state, but there's jurisdictions, there's counties. So he got married to 3 different women in 3 different counties, and nobody said anything about that. Nobody said anything about that. But it's on the news. It's on World Star. It's on somewhere. I saw it somewhere because I don't have TV, but I saw it on social media somewhere. Man got married 3 times in the same state, the state of Florida. It's the system. You have to get married in the courthouse. So it's the courthouse has the same old fucking outdated system, and it's every state has an issue because it's not the same. Every state should be the same with the same laws in the courthouse. Why is it different in another state? Why is it different in another jurisdiction? No one in the same state can help you because it's outside of my jurisdiction. Oh, we can't help you. We can't do anything about that. And I'm like, it's stupid. And that's why there is so much crime and so much corruption because there's no order. Everybody can do whatever the fuck they want. And it's just like, wow, nobody's gonna do anything. Nobody's gonna do anything. Oh, it's outside of my jurisdiction. That's your fucking excuse. I'm just venting. I know. I was like, I'm supposed to be doing the Return of Sunday. I'm gonna do the Return. I'm gonna do the Return of Sundays. I guess in another video. I done made 2 videos talking about this shit outside of my jurisdiction. I'm like, oh my. That's what the issue is. It's outside of my jurisdiction, so I can't help you. Oh, we don't know. We can't do anything about that. And leave, leave with love, leave with love, leave with love. Stay positive, vibe high. This too shall pass, right? Leave with love. Bye.